Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Ripping On. Tonight's episode will be with Daniel, Marilou, and Maxos was here earlier, but he kind of faded away and will probably return. And we will be talking about a bunch of stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
Uh, so here's my position that I get very shit scared when I am in talks to enter a relationship with someone who has a lot of plans about their future. Like they have a lot of, typically about kids, like that's the main thing, right? But like, oh, I want to, they have to do dancing, or like, oh, but they need to learn this language, or like, oh, but I want to live there. When they have thought too much about this stuff, like to me, that's already a red flag. Like if they have opinions about it, like I don't know, right, what I want to do with my dumbass kids. I don't care. I mean, I will care, right, when that becomes a thing. But like the fact of like focusing so much over that to me is a gigantic creepy red flag. Okay, now open to the floor.
I think Daniel should be the first one to go on this one.
That makes sense to be spooked by that.
That's all? That's all you have?
Well, I was just, the Buccaneers just got a beautiful pick six. I mean, that was amazing. To anyone that's listen to this when it's uploaded, you'll get an idea of the time that we're doing this. Now, he's scared of people that have plans. Is that what he said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Jeez. Marilou, do you have anything to say since you can come from a different point of view?
Sure. I think it's normal. And if you don't have, I think it can be normal. Like if you don't have very specific plans, like it would make sense that someone that has like a really specific idea of their future would like be incoherent with your idea that's more like open-ended of your future. Like there's like some kind of incompatibility, but it depends on the idea of the person as well. But I think it's not, I wouldn't say necessarily that it's a red flag, but it depends on like the specificity. Like if they really want to impose things on their kids, I think that's not good. But if it's just like, I want to have kids and I want to live in that place, I don't think that's a red flag. That's just.
But here's my worry, right? My worry is, what if this person is, I'm just a part of her future. Like I'm just
a cog, like a piece.
Like
you want to be the centerpiece,
just like an element needed in order for to materialize.
You're saying plan. You want to be their world.
Well,
Daniel knows all about being somebody's.
No, well, I guess what I'm saying is that there should be like planning.
No, I like that too.
Be completely done together and not be based on some like planning that has been done in a world where I don't exist, right? Like it needs to be like, I think there's a lot of solipsism where you already have a plan for yourself, then you don't want to, like, in other words, I guess what I'm saying is that if you have plans for yourself, then you don't want to be in a relationship. Like to me, it's there's a conflict fundamentally with planning.
Yeah.
Or wait, or are you more concerned that the fact is that you are just an exchangeable part of their plan? Like if you don't accept them, you can just be exchanged. Well, is that a concern?
Not necessarily exchange, but what I'm saying is that, look, when you start a relationship with someone, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that you are guessing, right? I mean, the majority of things you're guessing. Like you're just saying, okay, well, given this person behaves like this, well, they're not gonna, stab me with a knife. There's expectations, right? The point is that if the fact that you would have so many plans about yourself that you made by yourself, to me, seems like that it's not exactly compatible with you actually being interested in me, right? Because if I'm interested in another person, to me, the assumption is that then everything is open at this point because, look, it's another person. I mean, obviously, there's going to be some things that I cannot negotiate, but they're going to be pretty few, right? So to me, implicitly, right, I know that if the moment I get another person in my life, well, everything is going to change, right? Because it's a different person. I'm interested in them.
But part of it's the defense mechanism, though, right? Because they probably know you're potentially temporary. So if they adjust their life too much around your dynamic, then
For sure.
now you're gone. And now what are they? If they don't have their own, like, this is me thing outside of that, then now they're kind of fucked.
So I agree.
Knowing that.
Yeah, I agree. But then isn't that a risk? Like, I guess in my opinion, that you need to take that risk.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's sometimes it's like it's hard to maybe it's partially like some weird pride thing why or just with a relationship as much, but yeah, I think because you don't want it to be I don't know, man. I mean,
I think there's a way to reach an in-between of like, I have this idea what I want my future to look like, but if you come into my life and you have something else that you want, or you want to tweak things, like we can talk about it and figure something out, right? Like it's not just having the idea, but maybe being really rigid about the idea. And also, I think it depends on how they present their plans. Like,
well, maybe if they have it as a principle instead of like as a this is something I'd like to do, but like a principle, like I'm not going to change a single thing based on us.
Right.
Yeah, but that's okay. All this
life goals that you strive towards, and if your partner doesn't want that, then to like choose a different partner that's more aligned.
Yeah, exactly. But isn't there also a question of? I mean, to me at least, like I think that I have to accept the moment I get someone else in the equation. I have to accept that many of my goals might never happen because of that, right? And I guess what I'm saying is that people who have a lot of goals, seems to me that they're going to have to either be very disappointed or be ruthless about other people. And now other people become like sort of expendable because like they're more married to their own goals. So I guess
well, it becomes about priorities, and if they're rigid, then at least it seems like the priorities of those things they're just higher than you or the relationship. Well, you just gotta find someone who prioritizes you more.
Okay, so I don't think we got to the heart of the problem. What makes him so concerned by this? I don't think he answered it.
What, the conversation we had last night? That's what it is.
The conversation last night?
What was it? What was it specifically?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, she, like, specifically this lady I'm talking to, just texting, she asked me, what kind of parent would you be? I already got pissed because the idea that there are kinds of parents is already sort of like a bit...
Just say a bad one.
What?
I'll be a fun one.
Responsible one. I usually leave needles lying around. So I don't know. I gave her some like playful and leave space, whatever. But that's a stupid question. Anyway, and then I asked her, okay, what about yourself, right? And she kind of gave me a similar answer to what I gave, but then that sort of like set me up for a little bit of a suspicion that basically asked her, okay, why do you ask? Because it was out of the blue. We weren't even having a conversation at that point, right? It was like she really, she started out the conversation that day with that question out of the blue. So I asked, okay, why do you ask? And then I honestly said, okay, do you feel like you're in a rush, right, for this thing? Because she's like, oh, I'm asking because this is very important to me. So, I need to have conversation about values, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, do you feel you're in a rush? And then she's like, oh, define in a rush. But then I was saying, well, do you think that, that you are not going to compromise on achieving that goal, right? And because that's what it is to me. Like, to me, I would like to have a kid, right? But I realize that might never happen, right? Because I'm already there with age and, I don't have a partner. So it's possible that it just doesn't work out, right? And I don't feel the same mindset from her.
Well, how old is she?
She's even older than me. She's 39. So I assume she has a race frozen or something. But
and she doesn't already have kids?
Yeah, so I assume she
Okay,
probably,
so yeah, she needs to find a decent dad quick.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness!
I assume she has her eggs frozen because otherwise I think 39 gets a little dicey.
Gets a
But-
little hairy.
Yeah.
Oh my
But that's
goodness.
why you would be less in a rush because you can do it later if you want to, right? So
No, but see, I understand that, but that's kind of artificial. The point is that, look, at some point I will also be like, I am in a rush. I feel in a rush as well, in the sense that I don't think I have too many chances, right, in the future. But it doesn't matter to me. The point is that's too bad, but it's secondary to the person that I'm gonna meet and spend my life with. It's a secondary thing. Like, that goal will be great, but it's subordinate, right, to having a good interaction with one person and a relation with the person where everything could be up for grabs, right? And then it's a new thing and we adapt to a different situation. The fact that she's already kind of planning the downstream, what is for me a downstream thing, which is having a kid, is what kind of like make me call her in a rush.
Yeah, you got to find a younger girl.
Dude, I am not. I don't know. And I shouldn't say this. I am not. I don't know. I tend to. I'm in a tough position because I.
Oh my god, another pick six. Oh, insanity. Okay, go.
No, I don't feel super attracted to much younger girls. Like, I don't. Not. I mean, of course they can look very good, right? But I'm saying in terms of personality, more often than not, it's harder to bond for me. So.
I gotcha. Yeah. So, well, I mean, maybe just an older lady that's already got some kids, so she's not too worried about it.
You do understand there's such a thing as
kids and replace them with mine. You know.
Hello, you do understand there's such a thing as adopting, right?
Adoption is a really rough thing to pull off.
Well, then they don't look anything like you.
Okay.
Well, that could be a good thing for some people.
No, but it's really expensive and it's a really long process. So it's definitely not like possible for everyone.
It doesn't matter. It's still an option. You don't necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, is it an option if it costs $20,000 though?
Oh yeah, it's.
I mean, it's a little. Okay.
Like, is it a real? Like, yeah. Theoretically, is it an option? But practically, is it an option to spend to have that much money on hand for an adoption?
Marilou, you need to understand that he just spent literally $8,000 on a stupid diamond ring. So, you know, Darnell doesn't really care too much about that.
Right. But he knows that other people care about that. I think he's
no, he doesn't. No. Bad assumption. He does not understand how other people think.
Did you really spend that much on that ring?
I told you. Didn't I tell you?
No. You just told me you bought a ring.
And mind you, this is a guy that, quote, doesn't believe in love.
Did you really buy an $8,000 ring?
Roughly, yes. It's close enough.
Wow.
Listen.
I mean,
that's a lot for someone you don't love, especially.
Hey, look, if you guys want to rip on me when it comes to that stuff, listen. I'm not concerned by most of the shit that you guys are concerned when it comes to being in a relationship and all that kind of shit. Money doesn't really mean anything to me either. So, what can I say? It's what she wanted. I gave her what she wanted. Simple as that. No.
Now, what's the reason? Is just because she wanted it? That's the reason.
Yeah, I mean, she could have chosen something else and it would have been perfectly fine too. Like, everything was pretty fine. Like, I am super easygoing.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I know you don't care about money, so I'm not surprised. But
yeah,
sure, but
damn, 8,000? Like, you're now expensive taste. Jesus.
Do you love her, Darnell?
Your concept of what most people would say love is, I do not believe in that. No. So if you want to go with that,
by what most people say, the answer is no. By everyone's definition of it, for the most part, in that form.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. Yeah, I agree. I don't believe in love.
And so you would say no is the answer.
Yes, but I understand and actually believe in something different, so it's okay.
Right. What is it that you believe?
Why are you asking?
No,
okay, wait.
It's important.
This I might cut out. You do understand her friends watch this podcast occasionally, right? So it's like you're screwing me here.
I understand that. That's part of like you're squirming extra, so it's
And no, it's not that I'm squirming. It's just I find it
Yeah.
funny because then they're gonna go to her and they're gonna be asking her all
Right.
these different things.
Right, because they're going to think it's strange
Of course.
that hey, your fiance like wasn't willing to say he loved you. What was that all about? Does he tell you he loves you?
I do actually tell her. Yes.
You do lie to her.
It's not a lie. It's the simplest way for her to understand how I feel by using the words that you guys use, which is love.
She's not bright enough to get yours.
It's not about bright enough. It's a weird and complicated way of explaining it. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. But you've explained it.
Yeah, you've explained, like you've had conversations with her about this, right? Like you told me about it.
Yeah, I have.
She's fully informed and
she understands. She understands.
Yeah. So that's fine with me. If she knows and she's fine with it, then it's fine with me.
Yeah. So I tell her I love her.
You have your own deal. Every relationship is different, anyways.
Exactly.
That's true.
This is why we were saying earlier. It's difficult to fucking be friends with me for so long.
Well, does she know like the types of things you appreciate the rawness of?
Daniel, what is wrong with you?
I didn't say anything in particular. I'm just wondering, have you had these types of talks?
No, not necessarily. What is wrong with you, Daniel? Why are you?
Well, she's not here. I mean, we're just discussing things that you feel.
There's feeling and there's understanding. Those are two different things there. Oh my gosh. Oh, Daniel.
So, anyways, the point is, so you're saying the 8,000 is no big deal, but the reason you did it is just because she wanted to, and you kind of like her a little bit.
No, I want to make her happy. And in that process, she wanted something that would make her feel happy. So I obliged, and it's really no bother to me. So, yeah.
But you're opposed to the idea of marriage, right? And then
yes.
But that was an engagement ring or no?
That was whatever. Yeah.
Are you engaged to be married?
Yes, but I don't believe in it. But if it happens that we end up doing it's okay.
Does she think you're engaged to be married?
No, she understands the same thing. Like, no. Okay, you see, it's not a different idea thing.
Engagement ring?
Huh?
Does she think that she has an engagement ring?
Yes, because the whole entire principle is if we end up getting married or whatever, that's fine. But it's not something that I'm like enthusiastic about or planning, right? If it happens, it happens, and she gets that too.
But
does she want to get married?
I'm sure she does at some point. Yeah, I'm sure.
Was the ring your way of saying we're getting married? I mean, did you just hand her the ring? Was there a talk about what this means?
Not necessarily a talk. I did present the ring I guess I attempted to be cute in some shape or form, and I didn't propose to her per se. It was her little...
But you were down on one knee and asked her...
Are you insane? Do you think I would ever do that?
I don't actually, but the way you're talking about it makes it sound like literally every detail is a proposal, but you're not engaged.
No. Oh, let's clear the air. Okay, we're engaged, but it's not a thing that I'm like for. She understands the same way, and if it happens that we end up getting married, then that's how it works, right? We're engaged, but it's not
a different definition of engaged, also.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
Love, engaged. These are all just words, folks.
Look, I'm a complicated person with a complicated way of viewing things. Simple as that.
I know that much about you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Now.
Oh no, we've had a similar talk to this before. It just seems like a lot of the word. It seems like word games. You want to wiggle out of reality through your word games.
I really, rarely play word games. It's just I have a different understanding for things. I see the world differently compared to other people. This is why I also still believe that humans are stupid, and that will probably never ever change.
Sure, well, sure.
Yeah.
In many ways we are. But so you feel, what do you feel? Do you feel some butterflies when you see her and think about her, or do you
Feel
know,
butterflies?
like, what your definition of, okay, so you have a different version of love than what we all know. So what I'm asking is, what you're feeling, there must be differences, right? Because otherwise you would just call it love.
Sure. I'm not
So
too
what are
sure.
the, from your understanding of what people mean when they say it, what are the differences in what
Yeah.
you mean?
And how did you know you wanted to be with your girl if you're not feeling love?
So I don't know why this episode is on me, but whatever, I'll accept it. So I'll tell you this: when I first met or first saw my girlfriend, right, was at the gym and she was doing deadlifts, and I saw her then, and I was like, I will definitely end up with this chick. That was like automatic, right? And then eventually, during the course of I think maybe a couple of months or whatever, I became friends with one of the girls at the front desk of the gym, and then she suggested that we go to lunch or whatever, and she invited my girlfriend along, and we ended up hitting it off there. So you see, like it was one of those
Right,
self-fulfilling prophecies, if you want to.
Sure, but you're just saying it was like just an instant you knew, but
Yeah.
were there other feelings that went along with, I'm going to be with this girl?
At the time, I can't really say because my memories are still pretty hazy. Like I don't put much value on memories, so most of that stuff tends to fade away.
Fair enough. Okay, so then what do you feel now? That you say, yeah, it's different than your traditional love. What's the difference just now?
Difference to what? Like
To
I can't
your
I can't.
understanding of what other people feel or mean.
Oh gosh. I don't even know how to explain it. Like how do you explain something that someone might not even understand? I will use words as best as I can. Overwhelming control. There.
Control
Yeah.
of them or what?
No, of the situation. Like just I don't know how to best. You're making it so complicated for me to try and explain this to someone who might not
Well, it's
understand.
got to be complicated because you're a special boy. We have to complicate these things a little bit, but it's okay.
I swear, this is like the worst episode ever.
No.
It's gone in a couple
Or once
directions.
we're just like putting you on the spot. Like what
yeah,
I'm
he doesn't like
concerned
that.
about is like you chose your girlfriend, right? To some extent. You
Yeah.
chose her, she chose you.
Yeah.
But why did you choose her out of everything else? Out of everybody else? Like there must have been some kind of process in your mind or in your emotions or whatever that said this is the one.
Okay, so oh gosh, I can't believe I have to explain this. Look, this. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna make me explain this. Look, so how it works is that almost every person that I've ever been with has always produced an overwhelming emotion from me, right? So depending on the person, they can produce an overwhelming emotion. And my girlfriend, what she produces when I'm with her and all that kind of stuff is an overwhelming control. So in a way, she's like a dominating factor in.
You're saying she's the control.
Yes, like I really literally want to make her happy all the time and all that kind of stuff. And it's a way, it's like a overwhelming control over me in some way, right? I don't think there will ever be another person who is able to produce that kind of emotion in that sense. Like she literally makes it's complicated to explain, but it's just what I feel is overwhelming control from her, and that control controls me, which is an uncontrollable thing. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, love will make you do crazy things.
Sure, sure. You see, there's a
That's what they
difference.
say.
Most people would say like love is. What do people say when it comes to love? Love is like what?
There's a lot of things. I don't
know. Go with the most
Love
typical
a
thing people
box of
say.
chocolates. I don't.
Love
Love
what?
is blind.
Love is
It's
blind and all this
blind.
kind.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
right.
all those stupid things that
Blind.
people say like love makes you
Mhm.
crazy and all that kind of shit. The
Yeah.
difference is I actually understand where all my emotions come from.
Well, you
I can
started
dissect it.
crazy, so it's
I started
a little
crazy.
more complicated. but you're saying control as in like you're kind of I'm not understanding the control thing. So okay. You're kind of like when she's around, you're like, I'm yours. But that's just like an instinctual gut level thing, not
Yeah, it's not something I notice. Like it just occurs, right? It's not.
uh-huh.
Look, in reality, I don't think I'm controllable. I don't think I can ever be controllable. But somehow she manages to do it. If that makes any sense. There's
Mhm.
nothing.
Yeah. She
There's
has
so
I hear you.
influence.
exactly. She has influence over how I interact with the environment and all that kind of shit,
Mhm.
right? And it's just there. It's not like I know it's coming from her and all that kind of stuff, but it's not like something that like I'm producing. It's just something like it's generating while we're together and all that kind of shit.
Mhm.
I got you. Look, I'm gonna take a pee. You think about the whole thing in chat.
Right.
Hi, Marilou. Apparently, you got to come up with a question. If this is a ripping episode on me, you got to come up with something good for us to rip on me with.
You know how terrible I am at those things.
I know.
Talking?
Huh?
What? What is even talking and asking questions? Can't relate.
So difficult. But yeah. It's funny actually. It's very funny.
I mean, I've talked with you so much. I feel like I don't have any big deep questions to ask you that much.
That is true. Especially since I'm an open book, right? Like I
Right.
literally tell everyone everything, so it doesn't really matter to me.
We've worked so many shifts together, just talking
I
for
know.
hours.
I know.
So we've went over everything.
That is
Or
true.
maybe.
That is true.
Or at least like all the most obvious things.
Yeah, we've discussed like police reform, fucking end of the world,
Right.
coronavirus.
Alien.
Oh, aliens. Oh, I like talking about aliens. That's fun.
Right? Did you have any alien dreams recently?
I think I
No.
did, but I'm not too sure.
No.
I know. It was I was actually really excited about the dream, and then it's one of those dreams that you have and you know it, and then when you wake up it fades too quickly for you to actually jot it down because
Mhm,
I like
yeah.
writing on my dreams and everything, but this one
Yeah.
it was
It
weird.
faded away.
It faded away too quickly.
Right.
Anyways, yeah. But some of the dreams that I've had lately have been so boring.
But
All right. I'm
which ones
back.
do
What do you got
remember?
for me?
For which one? For the alien stuff?
I mean, any past dream that you remember.
Past dreams that I remember.
I mean that you had recently.
Oh, that I had recently.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Most of them were really, really boring. They were just ordinary, typical, like, interactions with people that I know and stuff
Were
like
you
that.
eating a sandwich?
Yeah, it's literally that boring. No, okay,
Yeah.
Daniel. Normally, my dreams involves aliens and all that kind of shit. This is where okay, I'll lead back to my girlfriend. Literally, when we started going out,
Yes.
I literally stopped having crazy alien dreams. She literally makes me normal.
Maybe she's an alien. Ever think of that?
It's possible. I don't know.
She just closed the gate to the other dimension in your mind.
Probably.
She knew you were too powerful. Had to stop you.
Yo, no joke. She makes me so fucking normal, and it's like, ugh. All my dreams used to be really crazy shit, Daniel. There were so many aliens in my dreams, so many different types. It was amazing.
And you think you say it's amazing, but you like the fact that they stopped?
No, I don't like the fact that they stopped. It's just so inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big problem. There's one check mark in the negative side for her.
No, it's not. I wouldn't even say. Okay, wow.
She ruined your amazing dreams.
I would not go that far. No. It's okay.
You'll never forgive her for it.
Oh yeah. That's it.
You're harboring a lot of resentment about
it. I'm not other individuals.
You miss your aliens. It's okay to admit you miss your aliens. But you're just prioritizing her over your aliens. And that's
hey,
kind of
in every relationship there needs to be compromises, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm, there you go. Mm-hmm. Unlike Daniel here, Marilou, he is incapable of compromising, right?
This is not true.
This is 100% true.
I've compromised things.
What have you compromised in your last relationship?
I'm sure I did.
Yeah. You're sure you did.
I probably did.
See.
I mean, I went to like stupid parties and stuff I didn't want to go to.
Oh yeah. That's so a compromise.
It's a compromise. I could have been doing other things.
I
don't want to be dragged to this thing.
Right.
And that's a kind of compromise, isn't it?
No.
A
compromise would be something that you change about yourself per se,
Okay. How about this? I started going to bed earlier because she had to get up earlier. So I would usually be a bit of a night owl. And I was like, you know what? She really wants to go to bed near the same time. And now, yeah, so I met her closer to when she would go to bed normally.
Right.
There you go. Compromise.
That it sounds like a very lame compromise, but we can agree that it is. One. Oh, see what I mean, Marilou? You see what I mean when it comes to Daniel? He has not compromised ever.
That's a pretty big one. The time you go to sleep.
For real, it is. Like, it sounds silly, but like my first boyfriend, when we lived together for a few months, I had to go to bed early because I was working really early, and he was a night owl. But it ended up that like all of our schedules were fucked because I was going to bed early. He came to bed later, and then I woke up early and I did stuff in the morning, and then like I needed to go to work or whatever. But then when he woke up, I was gone, and like it messed up the whole like schedule, and we didn't have time together anymore almost.
There you go. Well, so what are all your compromises other than giving up the aliens?
Drinking,
partying, drinking, being flirtatious, which is one of the things that I'm literally built to do.
Oh yeah, you're never flirtatious since you got with her.
Do you know how much I've reduced in flirting? Okay. I'm just a natural flirt.
That's okay. I
hear that's actual behavioral.
Huh? I hear you, but that's pretty normal, like relationship shit. Like I get. People are going to flirt a little bit.
Listen, do you know all my previous girlfriends? I have never changed how I flirted. Right? I would if I was with them, I would still flirt, but with my girlfriend now, it's like
okay. So, but what I'm saying is that to most people, that sounds like one of the lamest compromises. That's like basically saying, well, I've stopped fucking other girls, so that's something. Like, oh, wow, bravo. That's kind of part of the deal, I thought.
He's not wrong.
Okay, well, look, if I'm saying
but
all these...
I understand that it's a big part of your identity, but I agree that he's not wrong.
Oh, okay. So we all have different values when it comes to...
I had to stop hitting on girls. Well, yeah, of course you did.
Yeah, but, okay, there's a difference. I'm not hitting on girls to hit on them. I'm just flirtatious. I just naturally flirt with people, right? That's the difference. I'm not flirting to
basically synonyms, but okay, fair enough. I I understand what you mean. And I think my definition of flirting is usually broader than most people's. So I would expect that there's some level of flirtation happening on both sides of almost any relationship. But it depends on what you mean. Like if you mean flirtation that is like sexual in nature, I think most people assume that that's kind of a no-no if you're in a committed relationship.
Okay, good point. Compromises are difficult to really agree on, right? In some way, like the whole sleeping thing. You both agree that the whole sleeping thing is a reasonable compromise. Where I find it odd. Like I had the discussion with my girlfriend. I'm like, the whole time making me go to bed early doesn't work for me, right? I'm gonna want to stay up late at night and all that kind of stuff. And she's like, okay. Like, I don't see how.
Well, if it was really important to me, I probably wouldn't. But I can do what I do at any hour, and it's like it's the type of thing where I didn't need that to be the case as much as she did, but I liked it. I mean, I liked going to bed at the same time also. So it was a compromise for her benefit, but at the same time, it didn't affect me much. So whatever.
Okay.
But
yeah, go ahead.
Different people have different like what's important to them is different,
Yeah.
So your girl might not even care about that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she would. I know she would. She would definitely care.
Right. Okay.
So here's the other thing, right? As we get older, we get more and more rigid in our ways, right? So right now, Daniel, would you compromise on what would you compromise for a relationship right now? Like, are there things you would say like a girl is against and she wants you to change? Like, I don't know, like your facial hair or your hair, or she wants you to lose weight, or
no, anything. I usually do the opposite of that type of stuff. Like, if a girl's like, "Oh, I liked you better without a beard," then I'll keep it growing. Or if they're like, "Oh, I love the beard," I'll at least contemplate shaving it. I want to, on a gut level, want to do it, but. Or like grow my hair longer if they don't like that. So no, not in that way, because I hate the suggestion.
So you're unwilling to compromise, just like what I was saying earlier.
Well, there's a difference between compromise and letting them just tell you what to do or what to be. So there are very big differences. It's like, I'm not going to say, hey, tell me what to wear. But if she's like, hey, I liked that, I liked when you wore that, then I might wear it more often, right? Instead of being like, wear that. Instead of saying, hey, wear this today, it's, I know she likes this, so I'll wear
it. So what are you exactly willing to compromise on in a relationship? I'm not clear.
Sleep.
So I was right. I said it. You're unable to compromise.
I do compromise. Look, not as much as like Maxos is demanding, obviously. He's clearly got some demands of people, I suppose. But no, I think I compromise a decent amount. You've
yet to bring up a point. You've yet to bring up a part where you're willing to compromise. Okay, how about this? Okay. Well, what if the girl you're dating she farts in bed? Are you willing to compromise on that?
Well, does she do it just to spite me?
No, it happens. She's a gassy person. Let's say are you willing to compromise on a girl who's gassy?
If she can't reasonably help it and it's not that smelly, then I would be okay with it. But if it's like, okay, it would be completely reasonable for you to do that the fuck away from me, then yeah, she should go away from me when she does that. If it's like, ooh, it slipped, then hey, it slips. I might chuckle about it, and that's fine.
Okay, but let's say it's a regular occurrence
on me all night, then yeah, no, that could be an issue.
Unable to compromise. Here we go.
That's not a compromise. You can't like, oh, you're so unwilling to compromise because you're grossed out by me shitting on you.
Okay, wait.
You
okay,
didn't have to shit on me.
All right, let's go deeper. Okay, let's say this girl loves being spooned, or she likes spooning you per se, right? But she drools. Like every time she's asleep, she drools on you. Is that an
Been
area?
there.
Huh? You've been
Yeah,
there?
I mean, that happens. It's a little gross, but I mean, if you like them, it's okay. If you don't like them, that's a problem. But if you like them,
Did the girl who drooled on you? Did you like her?
I was starting to like her less when she was drooling.
That's funny.
You're laughing at him, but we haven't even gotten to you yet about your compromising
Yeah,
skills.
I'm not much better. I'm not very fond of compromises.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm laughing, but I can relate. I'm laughing, but I relate.
Well, do you have an example? Because I'm on the chopping block here. I'm getting some criticism, but I don't hear much compromise from y'all.
I'm sure I have compromised enough. You know, I'm good. I'm set.
Me too. Yeah, compromise. But what about we haven't heard from Mary?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like when I don't know how to gauge when to compromise, and I feel like every time I have compromised, it led to resentment.
Oh.
So I've either not compromised on the right thing or accepted to compromise on things that were too important to me to compromise on.
Ooh.
Or like, I don't know. Or but yeah, I do struggle with that. I really do.
Do you have any examples?
I don't know. Like quick like this, I'm not sure. But yeah. I just struggle with compromising. I don't know. I feel I'm definitely kind of set in my ways. Like I'm really comfortable being single and on my own. So like if you don't fit in my life, then you don't fit in my life.
Well, that's kind of like
what Maxos is. Yeah.
Yeah,
basically.
But I think the reason's probably kind of what I was talking about then is like, yeah, but if you put too much of who you are into the relationship, then who are you if that goes to shit? If you become like, exactly. I am the person in this relationship and kind of build who you are around that, then you're pretty fragile. If I mean, think about the percentage of relationships that don't work. So it's a pretty big gamble to be like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like my first relationship was like that, where it was really like fusional, like super intense kind of thing. And when it failed, which it failed like magistrally, I was left being like, what the fuck? Like how am I so like, how do I feel like I'm nothing now? This is stupid.
Right. Well, yeah.
So like I had to rebuild myself, and now I don't really let myself get so into such like fusional relationships where you always have to compromise.
Yeah, well, you're trying to save yourself from a likely sort of identity crisis when that happens, because a lot of people go through that in breakups where it's like, who the fuck am I without this person?
Yeah,
I've never gone through that. What the fuck? I've never. What is wrong with you guys?
Well, I'm not saying I personally have, at least not to that extent. My first girlfriend was a little bit of that, I think, honestly. But yeah, I think it's a pretty normal thing. But if you're if you just didn't think enough about the possibility of that, not because like, even though you know it intellectually, you know it might not last forever, you forget it somewhere along the way, and then you're just kind of almost one entity with that person. It's like it's us instead of me and them. So yeah.
Okay, so wait, is that love in your mind? Like that kind of a relationship that you're talking about, where you're merged with the other? That isn't love.
It could be, but not. That's not what it is, I don't think.
Okay,
like,
okay, wait.
Me,
Go ahead. Sorry.
For me, it was that way my first relationship, because it was my first love, you know? Like, and we were so young. We were teens, like, and we had this idea of love, and we were both, like, super unstable mentally and stuff like that. So we co-regulated a lot, and we kind of depended on each other in a really unhealthy way. But we were so young, we didn't have any other option, right?
Well, and people, I think a lot of young people especially get fucked up on what love, quote unquote, should be because of depictions in media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then also most parents, not all, and I don't know which was better, but a lot of parents hide most of their issues in that department. And then you have this concept of, well, my parents' relationship's perfect, and you know, a lot of people have these ideas. Not everybody. I mean, plenty of people. It's the opposite. But if you have that idea where everyone's pretending their relationship's perfect, then you're thinking, like, this is how it should be. This is how it's supposed to be, instead of messy and kind of fucked up sometimes or whatever, which is more realistic. But almost everyone, the media is lying more than anyone, but most people are lying about their relationships to some extent to the outside world.
Interesting.
Because, I mean, do you, for example, like Facebook, do you think scrolling someone's Facebook page that is in a relationship, they might be in a relatively happy relationship, but do you really think by looking at their Facebook, you're going to get an idea of the problems they have?
Of course not.
Right. So that if that's your perception of it, then especially when you're younger, before you kind of start to understand that it's not perfect, or it almost never is, and probably almost no one's is, then before that you're very impressionable. I think your brain's kind of mushy, and you'll just kind of absorb it as like, this is how it is.
Okay, so yet again, I didn't go through any of that stuff. What is wrong with you guys?
Well, yeah, you come from a broken home.
Mental illness.
There's a lot of things. Well, maybe
that's wrong.
Maybe your mama warned you. I don't know.
But I also think that we never learn about like what is healthy love either.
Okay, wait. You guys, wait, 1 second. You both are adults, and you guys know and understand yourselves. What is love from each of you? Like, I need to know what you guys think love is. Anyone who has the first idea, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of things, and I do think to some degree, kind of what you're saying, like everyone has a slightly different idea of what they mean. But when you're talking like specifically the romantic love that most people talk about, how I think of it is, you want to be not only, you want to be partners with this person, and you don't want, like, basically you want a life with them as a partner, and you want to be very involved in each other's lives, and you care about them probably more than almost anything else. Like they're your priority above in a lot of ways, and that's why it can get fucked up easily. But there can be healthy and unhealthy love, though. I mean, if it's obsession, that could still be love. I mean, you could still be what people say love is, but that's probably the unhealthy love. But to me, it just kind of, it mostly means that it's like this person means so much to me that I want them to be that big of a part of my life.
Okay. All right, Marilou.
I think it's like a strong and genuine like respect for one another, and a genuine sense of like wanting. Wait, I'm trying to find my words. Just like a genuine sense of like, you want really to care for this person, and to spend time with them, and to build with them, and to experience life with them. And yeah, I don't know, something along those lines.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of things that people call love that I wouldn't accept as like that, because I do think, at least from my perspective, what I would mean is it's fairly selfless. Like there could be, I love the way this person makes me feel, but I consider that separate from loving the person. So it's like you could love this person and want them, like their happiness and wanting to protect them is like the thing, the one of your top concerns. But then there's also what a lot of people say love, because it's when it's you make me feel amazing, so I love you, but I reject that as loving the person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very interesting. I remember when I was younger, I had dissected majority of the people who had conversations with me, and I kind of put them in different categories of types of love, and it was really funny, you know, like they were. I put like people in the category of moment, like the love in the moment where you feel love when you're with the person, but then it goes kind of hazy when you're not there with them. Then there's the idea of the person where you're in love with some idea that isn't the realistic thing that's in before you, kind of thing. And there's a huge variation when I was younger, when I was doing this, to how many different types of loves that there were. And I just came to the
Yeah.
conclusion that love is just idiotic. It's just stupid as fuck.
Well, I mean, honestly, we do need more words to describe what those feelings are. Because,
Listen,
like, yeah,
listen, humanity has had all this time and yet no one has a
well, come up with
defined.
the words, man.
Huh?
Come up with the words.
How am I supposed to come up with the word?
Some dude just, every word we say, some dude just made it up.
That is true. That is true. That is true. But it
But I
takes a
think we need.
society to agree on those terms to make it
It
an
would be
actual
very
thing.
helpful to have multiple words, because, like, yeah, someone could mean something very different when they say they love someone.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. I kind of vaguely remember it, but fuck, man, were there different types of love? Oh, it was so idiotic. It was hilarious. Anyway, but yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting though. Imagine you guys are both adults and you guys can't even agree on what love is. It's so funny.
Well, because it is complicated. I mean, there are a lot
Yeah,
of
it's,
different
But what?
it's
definitions.
super personal.
Okay.
It's super
Look.
personal.
Okay, this idea is super personal is idiotic too, right? Okay, look. You've got the body producing hormones to make you feel and experience shit, right? We can kind of
Mhm.
say like this is the key factor that makes you believe you're in love, and then
Yeah.
your brain processing all those emotions is what you believe the concept of love is in the long run, right?
Yep.
So if the human body generates and produces the thing, then shouldn't it be like a universal kind of thing, depending on the amount of hormones are being released and all that kind of shit? You could say different types or different strengths of
Well, I
love.
think people feel very similar things when they say the word love, but
Yeah. So then why is it so fucking complicated for people to just like describe it
well,
properly?
because distilling it down to saying love is a nice chemical reaction in your body when you're around someone, you have pleasant feelings. Like, it just
It
doesn't
doesn't
really
sound
describe
right.
it either. Well, it just doesn't. It doesn't help us deal with it. So it's like saying any feeling you have or any desire you have could be boiled down to that. I mean, okay, it's in your human nature to want this and that and that, but that doesn't really help us, right? It's like, oh, I'm hungry or I'm angry or I'm whatever. Well, that's just a chemical in your body say doing that. It's like, well, yeah, but what is it? It doesn't practically matter.
Mm.
In the practical
That's true.
sense, I'm feeling this. The process by which that occurs is kind of irrelevant.
So which one is stronger, the feeling or the understanding of the emotion?
Hmm?
Which one is stronger, the feeling or the understanding of the emotion?
I don't understand the question, but I
Okay,
guess
feeling is basically what your body generates, right? All the stuff that the hormones and all those releasing.
yeah.
And then your comprehension of an emotion or the
Oh,
generation. Which one is
well,
stronger, the feeling or the
it's
emotion?
it's I guess if I had to say stronger, probably the feeling. And I think the feeling informs everything that you intellectualize about the situation. So yeah, ultimately the feeling is going to be the reason why you probably have all these other things attached to it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I that's kind of a strange. I don't know about stronger, but yeah.
Interesting. You agree with that, Marilou? The feeling is stronger than.
Um, I mean, I can only speak for myself, right?
Okay, for yourself, for
So
yourself.
Right.
yeah, I think for myself, yeah, I can have really strong feelings or really strong emotional reactions.
Mhm.
But I do like try to dissect them as well, and I think ultimately like the feeling is stronger, but the most important is to know how to dissect it.
Okay, so when you guys actually experience something with an individual, can you tell if it's a difference between lust, love, passion? Like, are you able to distinguish each emotion from what you're
It's tough
experiencing?
sometimes. It's tough sometimes, but I'll tell you, here's how you tell. If after you nut, you still want to talk to him.
I had a feeling that was coming. Do you think it's the same thing?
Just a little trick. Just a little
Just a
trick
little
to help
trick.
you guys out.
Marilou, is that how girls go about it too?
I mean, I can't talk for all girls, so I don't know. For me, I think it's hard to tell. I mean, not that it's hard to tell, but I think that for me, for example, lust is very intertwined with love. For me, for how I experience my lust is often like if I start to really lust over someone, it's probably because I'm starting to catch feelings for them, you know? Like otherwise, like I don't really experience lust for strangers. I can find them like really cute or like physically, like objectively good looking,
Mhm.
but lust is different, you know? So for me, I think that they are very intertwined, but of course it's different for everyone. So I don't, it's rare that I have to make the difference between the two.
Okay, interesting. What would be the ideal relationship for you, Marilou?
For me,
Mhm.
I don't know. Just like I think someone that I can like what I'm looking for, okay, is the right balance between comfort and adventure. So it's a tricky spot to achieve, but I want
Yeah.
someone that's gonna be like really that I can find comfort in, but that's also gonna push me out of my comfort zone and make me experience new things.
Yeah, that's the danger because it's easy to find one or the other, but then it's like,
Right.
ooh, I like the bad boy, except he fucking hits me. So this is not good at all. This is not comfort. This is like, yeah, it was exciting at first, but this
Yeah,
is
but
horrible.
that's not pushing me out of my comfort zone and like pushing me to
Well,
be a
I'm
better
not saying-
version of myself and experience
yeah,
new things.
well, I'm not saying-
That's just abuse.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that part is. I'm not saying that's the excitement. I'm saying like the other parts, the other things that go along with people that are like a certain way tend to be, well, it's like the concept of how a lot of people like to say, oh, women love assholes and stuff like that. And I don't generally think that's true as much as it is there are personality traits that go along with assholes that women often like. That it's not because they're an asshole. So it's like a lot of assholes might be confident or whatever,
Mhm.
and they might do certain things that could be attractive, but I reject the it's because they're an asshole that a
Yeah, no,
woman would be
definitely
attracted to it.
No. And every asshole is not just an asshole too. Like they're a
That
whole
too.
complex human being. Like there's other things.
Sure, yeah. But I just think that's why it gets confused so much because like a lot of dudes will see it as like, what the fuck? He just like insulted her or whatever. And they're not understanding. It's like, actually, no, he was making her laugh. But okay.
Mm.
Like there's and that actually comes back to the flirting thing where it's like flirting to someone, like I feel like there's some people that don't even understand when flirting is happening. Like they'll hear a conversation and be like, they were just like insulting each other. What the fuck was that? And it's like, no, they were flirting. I don't know what you heard.
Yeah, I mean people have different ways to flirt. And
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is true. Even my flirting is. Most people would probably just see it as
What's-
just ordinary talking.
Yeah, I was about to say, what is your
I'm more of a
definition flirting?
complimentive. Is that a word? Complimentive?
Well, complimentary,
Yeah,
probably.
Complimentary. Yeah, that's it. like I'm all about giving compliments and stuff like that. But it's the worst part is I'm not doing it as a flirt. I'm just doing it because I'm saying the truth. Like, you look good today, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, and people would perceive it as flirting, and
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, there's a huge difference in viewing it.
There are, big differences in how people flirt, and that's why, like, the thing where it's so weird. Like, if you're in a relationship, should you flirt? It's like, well, flirting could be fucking anything, and a lot of times, it's not like the end goal is fucking. It's just it's fun sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just the interaction is fun.
Yeah,
I love your yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I still think that Daniel can compromise, though. Jeesh.
I compromise all the time. I compromised on the time for this. I mean, I was consulted about what time we were doing this. That's a compromise.
What are you talking about? We planned this out. I was like, okay, we're doing it on Sunday around this time. Come on.
I thought it would be later. I was confused, but I was available.
Oh, well, see, it all worked out. Maxos is the only one who's... Go ahead.
Clearly very well planned out. This is a very professional program.
Max, I think he said, like, in the Facebook chat that he had a meeting.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did around 7 o'clock. So yeah, 7 to 9, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's gone to his meeting, I think.
Okay, so then let's keep on the whole entire flirting and all that kind of stuff. Is it? Would you say that you are more lustful for the person that you find intriguing, Daniel, over the I want to be with that person?
Oh, more lustful?
Yeah.
It depends, but yeah. So it's weird. Oftentimes, okay. Well, how do I word this? Well, no, I'm just thinking about how I even, because so much of this shit's subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's something like it might be easier if they're in the category of your brain as just like sexual, it's just like, yes, I find them sexy, then it's easier to, I don't know, your thought of them, I guess, is just in that way, whereas there's all these other thoughts that go along with someone that you have more than that with. So it's not just like if you think of them, it's thinking about sex.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, what was the question? I'm trying to figure out why I was talking about that.
If you were more lustful when it comes to someone you're interested in.
I'm more lustful.
Yeah, let's say you can gauge how you would perceive that person. Would you say that you're more lustful to wanting to interact with them and touch, caress, and all that kind of shit, or are you more like, oh, this person's pretty sweet, and you're more considerate, more thoughtful of them? Which one are you more?
Oh, well, there's the person you're talking to, and you might think, this is something different than you want to just bend them over or whatever. So if that's what you mean, do you mean like there's categories in that way where it's like oh, I actually like this person versus damn, oof, fuck, I'd like
are you talking about differences in flirting when you think you have a potential romantic relationship versus a potential like one night?
We can go with either. Like, let's say that person is
100%.
You're more lustful? Okay.
Well, just different, but go on with what you were about to.
I was just saying, like, in the moment you interact or you come across someone. So what used to happen with me is, like, when I would go to a party and all that kind of stuff, occasionally when I would walk into the room, automatically my brain would kind of perceive the person that I find the most intriguing or whatever, right? So it was like an instant connect. Once I visualized the whole entire group of people, I'd be like, ooh, that one is really interesting. So then I would go and I would interact with that person. But it wasn't like a lustful thing. It was more of a, I want to get to know that person kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
That's why. So
sure.
I mean, it's one part of it, but there's other parts of it.
Well, there's just very different. Yeah. Go on.
It can be that, but it can be many other things.
Okay, what are the other things? Since I apparently don't have those other things.
I mean, I think I've talked about this. Like, you can have a friend crush on someone.
Yes, we've discussed this.
You remember we talked about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have someone that you can find intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
You can have someone that you find like just attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there any other things than that? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Do you think there are other things, Daniel?
Other things. Are there other things? I don't even. What the hell are you talking about?
Like when you enter into a room and you find some people interesting more than others that you're more likely to go talk to. Like, what are those categories of people? Like I said, you have the person that you find attractive physically.
I guess it depends on the goal.
Interesting, mysterious. Like they seem like they have good conversation. And you can have like someone that you think would make a great friend, like a friend crush.
It depends on the goal, I guess, and how late in the night it's getting. In the beginning, you just want to, be around buddies and have a fun conversation.
Okay.
And so that's the priority there. It's like, okay, these people are fun to talk to.
Okay. Oh gosh. I don't know what to say when it comes to Daniel. Okay, so then let's go back to relationship stuff. I had asked Marilou what was her potential ideal relationship. Daniel, what's your potential ideal relationship?
5 of them, 5 ladies
at once.
Not at once, even. I don't want them getting jealous or seeing what goes on, because I would obviously be telling each of them that they were the best at it. So like I really enjoy my time with you, but these other ladies, they fulfill other needs. So yeah, the ideal relationship, I'm a Mormon or something, I guess, and
Mormon?
they're all well behaved.
Okay, so let's say
this is fantasy world. This is not reality, or
let's say in reality, it's possible for you to have 3 girls as your girlfriend or whatever you want to call them, right? Would you choose that? Like, let's say ideal, one is out of town and the 2 others are in town, but they're pretty busy and you can see one of them every couple of days or whatever.
I probably wouldn't actually want that. Like, the idea sounds nice, but usually if it's like if you have real relationships with all of them, it could get that's a bit much.
Okay, so then what if they knew about each other? What about that?
Well, right. No, that's what I was thinking as a scenario. Like, they're all cool with it, they get the deal. I like that idea if they were legitimately cool with it, but I think, again, this is mostly fantasy world. Like, you would have to find unicorns for that scenario to work.
I mean, you can just find polyamorous people if you're okay with them.
No, but well, right, that's obviously the magical scenario we're talking about. Isn't that? It's not their fucking anybody.
Okay, I see what you mean. You want them all for yourself, but you don't want them to have.
Of course. Yeah, as long as we're dealing in hypotheticals here, let's change human nature while we're at it. So yeah, they don't get jealous of each other. They're big fans of each other. They like each other, and they can lick each other if they want. But and they all love me, of course. And they're then there's it. So the ideal scenario is it actually takes a bit of relationship responsibility off of me, because we're all sort of in a relationship, and they're like watching their terrible shows and giggling together on the sofa while I'm doing shit I want to do. So the quality time, they can get some quality time, but I'm there sometimes too. But that's the ideal, is there's multiple girls, they all get along, but then also, like, they're they behave the exact same way towards you, like, not in a weird way, like, oh, did she does she have less of a gag reflex than me or whatever.
You're the best.
But if we're talking about what I think is possible, because I've crunched the numbers on that, and I just don't think it's possible. So
go with what you would think the ideal thing would be, if possible.
I mean, I think it's pretty much what everybody else would say, I guess. You know, it's she's cool, loves me, supports me. I feel the same way towards her, but we're not too like
Dependent?
controlling or
Oh,
dependent. Okay. Yeah, controlling, dependent. Because I think that can fuck things up a lot, and we both don't give the other one any need to feel jealousy in that way, because it's just kind of like in this, because I guess this is kind of also like a fantasy sort of scenario, but it's more realistic. But yeah, I mean, I think it's the same shit most people would say.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, and no gag reflex.
No gag.
I forgot that part.
Okay, and okay, so let's say I'm a magical being, like a genie or something, and I could create the individual that you want. Now, when I create this individual and she wants things from you, like she would want you to change. Like I'm saying, I create the ideal, the perfect woman for you. Like if there's such a thing as a perfect woman, I would create that thing, that individual, that human for you. But she would want things from you. Would you be able to compromise for her?
Want things?
Yeah, like she wants. If she's the perfect thing for you, she would want you to be a little better for her in some way, right? Would you be able
doesn't
to?
that negate the perfect for me bit?
So you want a woman to just accept you no matter what, but she has to be perfect for you.
We're changing the definition of perfect a little, aren't we? So okay, what's so perfect? And now
I don't know.
I've got to change everything.
No. I'm saying like the girl, she's gonna be like, I'm created perfect for you, but I would like you to change certain things. Would you be able to compromise there for the perfect woman?
What things do I got to change?
I don't know. She wants you to lose 50 pounds. She wants you to be more affectionate. She wants you to take her to dinners. She wants you to, you know. Oh wow, you're willing to say, you're saying sure to everything I'm saying all of a sudden. She wants you to watch stupid shows.
I watch plenty of stupid shows with girls, but some of them I like. Like I like some really trashy reality TV shows.
like what?
Oh, the 90 Day Fiance.
What?
There's like some dating shows. I like it.
Look, my girlfriend and I, we watch Too Hot to Handle.
I've seen previews. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, that shit is garbage, and I actually like it because it's garbage. To me, it's the shittiest shit in the world.
Yeah.
But it's fun to watch with my girlfriend while we make fun of them and all that kind of shit. So I kind of understand.
There's some ones that are kind of a little more lame. I mean, they're all lame in their ways, but like the MTV style, I never got into. Like that style of dating show, it never really clicked with me. But oh, dude, I love. There's the autistic people dating. I love
Something on a spectrum, right?
Yeah, Love on the Spectrum, and it's coming back for a new season. I think it's going to come out in the next couple days, season 2.
Yeah, because I saw it on my Netflix.
Oh man, I love that.
Anyways, okay, but you're willing to compromise quite a bit, though. What about your diet? Would you be able to compromise on your diet for her?
Yeah, I mean, my diet could be better anyway, depending on. I mean, like as long as I don't got to eat shit that's awful. Like if it's. Yeah, I mean, compromise in the sense of like it's not like I'm never going to eat the shit I like, but I wouldn't mind a girl that kind of like because oftentimes it's easy to get in the comfortable situation where if you both love food, it's really easy to just be like fuck it and gain weight together.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't mind a girl that's kind of the other direction on that a little bit, as long as she's not like super Hitler about it.
Okay. All right. Wow, I'm surprised you were willing to compromise, but I guess the key factor is that she's perfectly made for you, right? So I guess
yeah. I mean, if these specifications are perfect otherwise, then yeah, I mean, you bend a little bit more depending on the person, right?
All right, Marilou, same scenario. I've created the perfect individual for you. Which would you? How much are you willing to compromise for them? Like, let's say your studies.
What do you mean, my studies? You want me to drop out?
Yeah, let's say, like,
Well,
let's say
if
they're going
perfect,
to another
yes,
country.
right?
Huh?
I'm not. What?
Let's say they're going to
Well,
another
if
country and they
this-
ask you to come with them.
I mean, I would finish my studies first. I just have like a year left, so.
But I assume this person's rich.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for you or for Marilou.
Well,
Or I could go study abroad if they move,
Oh, okay.
right? Like there's options. I'm not gonna drop out for.
No,
someone.
I was just saying like studies in the general sense. Okay. What about the haircut? They want you to change your haircut.
I mean, if they don't like my haircut, why are they dating me?
they were programmed to date.
Yeah, they are created to be perfect, but they want you to compromise for them just a bit.
I mean, that would seem really odd to me. Someone doing like.
I am
I would
perfect.
rather
Now
go-
change yourself for it.
No, but I would rather compromise on like daily habits than like my physique, because I don't understand why someone would date me if they don't like my physique.
But that's not your
You know.
physique. That's just your hairstyle. That's just style.
I mean, it kind of is my physique. It's my way, like it's a part of my self-expression.
Okay. Interesting.
It's like the way you dress and everything.
She really does have compromise issues.
The one thing I was going to be like, she wants you to get rid of one of your tattoos, but then I'm like, oh no, that'd be too much for Marilou.
What?
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna get rid of my tattoos. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I know. I thought in my head, and I'm like, no, there's no way she's gonna compromise on that. What if she doesn't want the country life that you want? Ooh, are you
no,
willing to
actually,
compromise
here's
there?
This,
Huh?
I could compromise if we had a cabin.
Okay, but not the whole country life that you want.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh wow! Damn,
nice.
I didn't expect that. Okay.
I can compromise. I can on some things.
Well, here's a follow-up to the tattoo thing. How much money would it take for you to get rid of one of the tattoos?
I mean, it's not much. It's not so much the money as the technology. I feel like the technology to remove tattoos right now is not great.
Let's say it was perfect and it just as though it was never done at all.
I mean, if you pay for it and you give me some extra money, then do it. I'm just gonna use the extra money to get another tattoo.
Well, the requirement is that at least I guess it would be you can't get that exact tattoo again.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's fine. It's gonna make me a new spot for a new tattoo. That's cool.
Well, no, I was interested because so for the hypothetical perfect partner that wants you to change everything for some reason, so that's kind of weird. But this hypothetical person, you didn't want to change it for them, but for a cash payment. I mean, hey, why not? See, it seems the root of
it's because I'm getting something out of it, you know.
Right, well,
yeah, but you're getting the perfect person.
Right. But no.
Yeah, but the perfect person would accept me with my tattoo.
Exactly. See, this is the pride thing I was talking about. I think where it's like the not compromising because of some pride, which I do all the time. I think, but then there's the distinction where it's like, is it because it's just some sort of ideal that you have that I know I don't do this thing for somebody else versus this thing is that important to me. You know what I mean? Like this thing is more important than that thing. Or is it because, well, no, I don't want them to tell me what to do, which I know a lot of my lack of compromising in that way is like, well, no, they're not going to tell me what to do. So I understand that. But if that thing would be like, but if they paid you this amount of money, would you do it? Then it measures like, is it that thing that's important to you? Or is it that you don't want someone to be able to control you like that?
I mean, I think part of it is like, I don't understand, like to me, it doesn't make sense to compromise on physical things because it doesn't affect the relationship, theoretically. Because theoretically, the relationship, the very basic of the relationship when you first start to talk to someone is because you're attracted to each other, right?
Yeah,
So
I
it
hear
doesn't
you.
make sense to me why you would talk to someone that you would then ask to like change their appearance.
No, I agree.
And I don't feel like it changes anything in the relationship. So I
agree
to me,
with
that's
that.
not a point to compromise on because it doesn't affect the relationship.
I agree with that. But I guess what I'm saying is it's because the person told you, not the trade necessarily. So if like, oh, I'm super happy with this person, super attracted to them, everything's great. And it's like they didn't ask you to, but you just had to for some reason. Like you had to remove the tattoo to be able to keep them, but they weren't asking you to, you might have a different answer. It's like some guy is like, I'm gonna whatever, some god figure is like, you guys will fall out of love with each other and never speak again if you don't remove the tattoo. Then you might have a different, because now you're saying you're trading that what's more important to you versus I'm not going to allow somebody to tell
me.
The
thing is that if it comes from me, it's fine. But like if like my ideal partner wouldn't ask me to change anything about my physical
appearance. But that's what I'm saying is like the break.
But there's also the fact of like if someone asks me to remove my tattoo, like a partner, and it's like they don't like it and I feel attacked, like I'm like, why, what's going on,
right? That's
like,
that's
and if I choose to do it because it's like because I want to get money or whatever, I'm gonna have a space for a new tattoo, or in the end, this tattoo, I got it, but I think I could get something better in its place. And that's different.
Right. Well,
if I choose to remove it to keep someone because of an external factor, that would be extremely weird. But in hypothetical scenario.
Yeah, it's a weird situation. Obviously, like, right. The idea of they're going to hold their love hostage if you don't do something weird like that, that's very strange.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's different where it's like my career is very important to me or whatever, and they're asking me to change that, and if you wouldn't trade that regardless, like that's more important to me, is different than I'm not going to change it because that's kind of a weird precedent to establish and a weird thing to do. It's different than that's more important than the relationship is what I mean. Like my beard's not more important than my relationships, but I'm not going to let someone to tell me to shave, right?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I agree. Like all of the physical stuff, like gaining weight, losing weight, like to me, it's not a compromise that affects the relationship. Like if you're not attracted to someone, you don't get into a relationship with them. Like I just find that weird. Like I'm willing to compromise on other stuff, like the daily life, whatever, but the physical stuff just doesn't make sense to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. I've got another question for you guys. Now, I want you guys to be 100% honest here. Don't think just because it's on the internet and it's going to be like weird or whatever. I want you to be honest here. So let's say the ideal person is in a relationship with you and everything, and they've accepted you 100% and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, this person is like perfect per se, right? Now, let's say they get into an accident somehow and they are disfigured. Do you still love that person? Or are you going to have a hard time accepting them with their new disfigurement or whatever?
I mean, that'd be rough. I mean,
yeah.
I've got love for him. I've got love for him and all. But I mean, you'd be counting, okay, what's the appropriate amount of time that I have to stick around?
I think it's really tricky. I think it would be a combination of both. Like, I think it's normal when you go through something like that, or your partner. I mean, it's an event that affects the relationship for sure, right? And you need to get used to it and to like, it's pretty traumatic, for both of you. So of course you need to adapt, and I think I would definitely like try it. I didn't go through it, so I'm not sure if it would work. In the end, I would definitely try to make it work.
Okay.
Well, and if she really loved me, she would find me a non-disfigured bitch to have sex with.
I mean, with like plastic surgery and everything, like they're able to do some decent stuff nowadays. I don't know.
You could have a whole mask collection.
Yeah. Maybe not that far, but
Well, if we're
you can
altering the
definitely have
appearance.
some serious damage control.
Well, it's kind of funny though. The mask thing does seem insulting, but the plastic surgery doesn't.
I mean, it's not that it seems insulting. It's just that you can't really just swap.
Well,
faces.
and that she would probably want to appear more like not look like a freak. So yeah, she would probably want the plastic surgery part and not necessarily love the idea of wearing someone else's face while you fuck her.
I didn't even think of that.
That would be very nice.
So I get it.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes. Okay. Oh, so this was a topic that I was discussing with my little brother and all this kind of stuff. I'm gonna give you an apocalyptic scenario, right? Like there's gonna be a multiple, and you have to decide if you would keep your perfect partner with you during these events. So I want to see which ones you guys are gonna say yes to and which ones you're gonna say no to. So let's say zombie apocalypse. So basically, it's like the apocalyptic scenario I'm gonna give you. You have to decide if you want to keep the person who you love with you or have them die off earlier in the apocalypse, kind of thing. All right.
Okay.
All right. Walking Dead.
Oh wait, was that not the end of the question?
No. I'm gonna give you scenarios.
Gonna give us different scenarios,
and you're gonna have to decide if you want your partner to stay with you or die off earlier in the scenario. Walking Dead scenario.
I never watched it. So.
Okay, so it's basically slow-moving zombies, but they can amass in herds, which is difficult to handle. Like massive herds of zombies, you wouldn't want to fuck with. Would you want them to die or live with you in that scenario?
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be really honest. I don't really want to live through any kind of apocalypse. Oh. So I think I would just want to die off. You know what I mean?
We'll save that.
I think a lot of people think that, and on some level I do too, but I feel like the survival instinct would kick in and you would try to, at least initially, depending on how horrific it got.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is why I'm going to give you the scenarios and you're going to have to decide. Yeah. So, Marilou, you think you would want to live in a Walking Dead scenario?
I mean, I wouldn't want to, but I guess I wouldn't have a choice, right?
I think instinctually, unless she's suicidal, instinctually she probably would try.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I would probably try. I mean, and if I'm to live, like my ideal scenario would be to have like a partner with me to help me endure the suffering that is existence.
Okay.
But I wouldn't stop them from wanting to stop living because it's the apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
I would be sad, but I understand.
Okay. We're gonna go with I Am Legend zombies or infected.
Well, it would be definitely better to have someone with you than not, I think. But I mean, obviously, the downside being they could become one of them. Yeah, I mean, I think all of the scenarios are probably going to be the same answer for me, which is I would want to try to keep them alive as long as I possibly could, alive and or not a zombie, as long as I could.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Too. I think it's going to be the same answer for all of them.
Okay. So I'm going to change it now because it seems like if that's the case, then I'm going to change it. You have the option of keeping your partner alive or someone else who you would want to stay alive with. Would you still stay in that same scenario?
You're saying someone that would increase your chances of survival?
Yeah. It could be your partner or someone who will increase your chances of survival.
Now, is it like there's some super amazing version? Like it's like they're Arnold in a movie, or are they like just some guy that's not as weak as her.
Yeah, we'll say like a MacGyver style. Do you know who MacGyver is?
I do.
Okay, okay.
I
So,
covered his theme, you know.
oh, okay. So yeah, we'll say like a MacGyver style, a guy who can, or an individual who can, know and do a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's tough. Now, how does my partner feel? Are they? If my partner is Mary in this situation, then sure, she wants to die anyways. Fuck her.
Good. Thank you for respecting me.
So if that's the mentality of the alternative, then I'm going with MacGyver.
Okay, cool. Marilou, would your survival instincts be more improved if you had someone who is capable of surviving in almost all situations?
No, because the life that you live sucks. Yeah.
Oh,
You're
wow.
just running away all the time. You can't even like enjoy things. No, I would let my partner live with the superhero.
Okay. Well, I didn't expect us to just kind of like end it like that. Wow, that's interesting. We had like this whole entire discussion about the pros and cons of having like your partner in that scenario, if it was the right thing to have your partner, or if, because in most scenarios I'm like, depending on the scenario, like I would not want my
They could certainly be a detriment because you make more emotional decisions.
exactly right.
And yeah, so detriment to survival for sure, but so I mean, if the option is they're dead or I would try, but I mean, it also depends on how competent they are. If they're just like a useless mess, that changes things a little too. Or like, can they do things?
Yeah, we'll say like they are a doctor,
And also, I think it's possible to have a conversation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Before I pick MacGyver, we would talk about it.
How would you feel? How do you feel about this situation that I'm put in? Do you want to live? Do you want to die? I don't know. Like Daniel said, I could have a partner that just doesn't want to live in this mess.
Mm.
So in that case, I could go on with the superhero, or they want to live, and I don't really care about my life in this stupid fucking apocalypse, so they could live. Or we decide that we want to like stick together and fuck off the superhero. We can discuss.
Okay.
All options are possible.
All options.
I would try to, depending on how rigid it needs to be. Like if it's like juggling two ladies that don't know about each other, you could kind of, oh, MacGyver, no, she's not around anymore. Don't worry about it. I'm only with you, buddy. And then you say, hey, you go, set that trap for him. And then I'm going over to her and being like, oh, baby, I'm trying to protect you as best I can. I set a trap out there.
Daniel, you're so special.
I mean, it's the apocalypse. I mean, these moral qualms really shouldn't be that big of a concern.
Interesting.
I'm trying to help everybody here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mostly me, but also maybe others, if it's convenient to others too.
All right. Well, do you guys have anything else to discuss, or we can end the episode shortly?
Yeah, I think it went a little better than last time. I think so.
I think it went pretty good too. Yeah. All right, guys.
Hopefully, it was recorded this time, so that's good too.
That is true. I did not stop the recording when I went, so it's perfect.
Yeah, well, this time you didn't catch the shit talk.
Yeah, no, I just went peeing.
Okay, well, we'll end it here. This is another episode of Ripping On. Guest stars Daniel and Marilou, and this is it for tonight.